Welcome back to Connect with Jonathan Mark. We have another update to the Vickie, Stout, and Carla Atkins case, which is absolutely incredible. We're bringing on Amelia, and there is going to be a little bit of a reading on there too. But please remember, this is extremely sensitive, and we're going to be getting back to bringing real people, real cases starting next week. I'm super excited, and let's get into the episode. Well, welcome back, and thank you so much for coming back on. I know last week people loved the update, and I know it's been a while because I think my producer at the time, he kept that voice recording for a long time, and I'm happy I was able to give people updates because people are really into this case. So I would love to hear updates from you, and then anything that we should get into about this case, because I know there's some stuff and I don't want to spoil it for people because you told me via email. So I would love to hear it.
Yeah. Well, Jonathan, thanks again for having me. I really appreciate you having me on and doing the update that you did. Like you said, I think a lot of people want to keep following the girl's case and see what's happening. And I think a lot of people are really stuck on what happened with the DNA because the FBI sent in and the TBI district attorney, they all sent things in to have tested. And I think what our audience can't wrap around is like, they want to know what the results were. I'm like, well, I mean, because of the integrity of the case, like it's under wraps. So I think everybody's like really confused about what happened with that, that they were waiting on that, as a follow up to it. And then kind of like, they didn't hear anything.
Which is like the worst because it's like, I mean, you understand this, and I think a lot of people do at this point now too, but keeping the integrity of the case, I feel is super important. And people obviously, like you said, want to know like what happened and like with the DNA and everything. Right. But you always have to protect it because it's still considered like an open case. Yeah. So like, even though it's cold and whatever people want to call it, unsolved, cold, whatever, it's still like people are looking at it. So it means it's still being processed. It's still, doing everything. And my question was like, was any of the stuff tampered with? And what I mean by that, because I can see kind of was when I'm connecting to them right now, it's like when it gets transported from point A to point B, they can't completely like protect it. So it gets tampered with. Right. Like not like someone's like in the movies we see like going and like scrubbing something on it. It's just being tampered as far as like moving from point A to point B or from person to person. It's just like oxygen gets in, DNA gets in, and because they're like showing to me and they're smiling, saying from line to line, things have gotten shifted. So I'm curious if that's part of the DNA results too, if it's very confusing because they're coming through and they're showing to me there's a lot of things that should be coming to light about this case like soon, only because there's physical items they keep showing to me that should be able to help pinpoint who the person's, because it seems like it's one person, but people knew about it that did this. Because it seems like it's someone that they like, I don't know, because I think I said this last time, I'm not 100% sure, because they're tapping my Gatorade bottle, so it must have been a blue something, like car, truck, bus, whatever. Yeah, they just keep coming through and saying like there's like physical stuff that you have that, I don't know. And like I said, I know about it because you told me, but they're showing it to me too. Like it should help the case to some extent.
Right. But the blue truck is like one of the only known facts as far as eyewitness statements and things.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Is that the girls did get into a blue truck. And so that's kind of always been questionable about whether they were talking to someone in a blue truck or whether they got in the blue truck. And from what we hear from the eyewitness statements, and actually a deputy we talked to as well, is the girls got in that truck.
It definitely seems like they got in. It's kind of like if a guy goes to try to pick up girls, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm not saying that's the scenario. Like it just seems like it was a familiar face. Like it doesn't seem like it was someone completely out of the ordinary random. But it seems like a familiar face because the way that they're coming through is they're taking steps together, which means they walked in willingly. They weren't like pulled in. So, yeah, I always try to look for that when I do this stuff. I'm like, is it someone who pulled them in, or in any case scenario, this seems like they just walked in, or they knew a familiar face and just came in.
Right. So they went willingly.
Yeah. It doesn't seem like there was any like confrontation
Right.
with it at all. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to like hear from you, like what else they're showing you or what else they're saying. And you said something in the update that you received a letter. I didn't know if you were talking about my email or like what maybe you received, if it was something tangible or something.
It was something, it was an email from you, but what I see from them is that there's physical paper is what they're showing to me.
Okay.
Like that should be able to, and again, this is just like supposed to help find who it is, whether it's writing, someone who wrote something for handwriting, or they left something behind. Because what they're showing to me is like an actual physical paper, not like, I mean, in today's age, we type everything, email, text. This is like an actual letter is what they're showing to me, like piece of paper and stuff. Because really what it comes down to is the DNA side of things. Okay. And like, that's what they're trying to show me. It's like DNA, handwriting matching to see if everything lines up. Because what they're showing to me is that also too, with like a lot of this, with this case in particular and like updates on stuff is, it's kind of like when people are very close to finding them, so like location wise, because what they're showing to me, and again, I don't know exactly where this, like where, I know like it's in Tennessee, right? Okay, so basically what they're showing to me is like bodies of water and then land in like around it, right? So like they're showing to me that they are in like that general vicinity, like they're separated. So it's like, cause like basically what they're showing to me also is that there's bodies of water, there's land in between, and then there's land around. I see they're kind of like separated the two because they're pulling apart to show me that they're not buried or together.
You probably don't know, but like the name of the podcast is Murder at Land Between the Lakes. So
it's literally
like, it's like a recreational, like federal property land that John F. Kennedy actually named, like took it as federal property when he flew over it one time. It's like in Kentucky and Tennessee. It's this big property, like this big land in between like two lakes. And so that's why it's land between the lakes. And that's why
oh my God. Okay, that makes sense.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
What do you want to know? Because I feel like I said a bunch before. So like, what can I help you with this? Yeah.
The problem we're having is actually placing this person in the river at that time. Because like we know there was no camera. There weren't cameras back then. Trails of things. The TBI agent who, when you said that the evidence was stolen, so they're taken, it disappeared. And it did. Like what happened was it was a TBI agent's son is suspect of taking the girls and killing them. And when the agent went to the scene, he took all the evidence, put it in the back of his car, took it to Nashville or Memphis or Nashville. And he was allegedly like, I don't know if he was robbed or what happened, but someone stole the evidence out of the trunk of his car.
Well, I do remember that because the person that I see is super connected, because basically the problem with this, from what I'm seeing from them, is that the person was so well connected and so was the family that that's the whole thing is that, and I mentioned this actually now it makes sense in the beginning when they're talking about tampering with evidence and stuff, they tampered with the evidence. It seems like they really tampered with it.
Kaylee Cuoco and Sam Claflin star in the MGM Plus original series, Vanished. When the man Alice loves disappears on a train to the south of France, every romantic memory becomes evidence. Every intimate detail, a potential threat. She thought she knew everything about him, but she may not even know his real name. New episode Sunday on MGM Plus. Finding the truth is a dangerous affair.
Now, going to try and place it or place where this person is, and guys, just so you guys listening, we're not saying the name, integrity of the case, stuff like that. Are you trying to find like where, like what happened from like when this person picked them up to like what happened or?
Right. You know, I think the girls.
Because it seems pretty cut and dry. Like that's why. Unfortunately,
like they went to the spot at Land Between the Lakes, and they went to party or
there's booze.
Or what they were doing. I don't know. And you know, it seems like the girls probably went willingly. They'd had some problems with a person that had been stalking them, had been coming to their house and like standing outside yelling at them, and significantly older. I'll tell you that as well too, like 10 plus years older than the girls. And he would stand outside, their trailer and yell at them to come outside. And, so they called the police. The police would come, they'd run him off. But they couldn't, this person was connected, so they couldn't really arrest him. And I think that's one of the deputies who I talked to, it's his biggest regret ever, is that he didn't try to take matters in his own hands and like actually arrest this person.
From what I see from them, that whoever, and we won't name the deputy, but I think his hands would have been tied if he tried to do it. Because it seems like the level of involvement of like who these people know, it's just very high. What they're showing to me, like, I think the toughest problem is the DNA side of things, because I think it's fairly clear cut who did it from what from what I can tell. But I don't know how you'd go about that without like speaking to the FBI. That's the thing, is like, I don't know how you can go about that from like a law enforcement standpoint from it. Because I'm looking and they're saying everything that I said before and even now is consistent, which means that like nothing has changed. So it means that everything is the same. So I don't know what else I can try and help you with. I mean, I'd be more than happy to.
Yeah, I just didn't know what else if they were like, telling you anything else that could like push us in another direction, like push us in another direction, but we just need like that final.
You know what it is? It's all DNA based at this point. Like, it's not even so much so like pushing you in a direction to arrest someone, because it seems like you're going to need DNA for this. But let me see what I can get. Because like they keep popping stuff in, but it's like, to me, it's not like crazy, like important, but.
What are they showing you?
It's interesting because it seems like they didn't even like look at this person's house. They didn't like do anything. They didn't like, it was pretty visible that there was an, like you said, because they keep tapping eyes, they keep tapping the truck. There's eyewitnesses, like you mentioned. There's more than one. There's also people in the town that knows or knew who did it. And it also seems too, at the same time, they keep basically showing to me they got in the truck to party, whatever they wanted to do, like you said. I hate to say this, but when someone touches themselves in inappropriate places, it shows to me that they were touched, inappropriately. Do you know the deputies that were, aside from the one that you spoke to, that was on this case?
Yes.
Okay. Who's the J name?
Is a deputy?
It's someone involved in this case, like.
Okay, there was 2 deputies that came.
And who's the R name? Or just the R name in general connected?
There's a bunch of R names. Is it law enforcement, or you think no?
This is someone that they knew.
Okay, so it was a brother and was a boyfriend that Vickie may or may not have been pregnant, and she was only 16 at the time. It was her boyfriend. Went to jail that morning, and so the girls stayed home from school, and that's why they stayed home from school, was to say goodbye to them before they went to jail.
Well, that's exactly the piece that they keep talking to me about, is that we're just going to refer to him as the R name, because he has information about this too, and I don't know if he's if he was involved at all, like not with what happened, like involved in the investigation to like help out, is what I'm saying, because what they keep showing to me is that it was a lapse of judgment not to speak to this person all the time, because it seems that the person of interest, not that they were friends, I'm not saying that they were friendly, but it seems like the person of interest, from what they're both showing to me, is they're both bad people, so they both know the same people. And they're saying like you need, like, the missing piece from my perspective is to connect the two. As far as like the R name and the person of interest, because that's what they keep underlining to me, is to tell you like the next step should be looking at that. Not at the brother, not at Bobby. Like that has nothing to do with it. That is completely separate from this. This has to do with someone who is very intimate with them or with one of them, and also someone who was not a good person also while being intimate with them.
Okay.
And that's what they want you at some point. And I'm sure you guys have, but it's just the direction that they keep pushing me to go into.
And then the J name. So the other deputy so there was like the one deputy who knows what happened. And then there's another deputy who went kind of like rogue and was like helping with, he disagreed with what he thinks happened.
Well, so let me ask you this. And is the J name who we're speaking about dirty?
I don't know how dirty, but I think he did help with the dirty people. Like he helped the dirty.
That's what I mean by dirty.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because that's what they're saying. They're saying J with a huge X on it, which means when they show me that means that they're part of the exit like stuff, right? It's kind of like if someone did something to cover it up, they have someone to help them push people away. It's kind of like if someone is a suspect and this deputy's like, no, this person's a suspect, but they know this person actually did it, they're pushing people away to like do it. And that's what they keep saying also is a huge lapse of judgment also. That's what they keep saying. The two things to kind of circle back to is that.
Okay. That's very interesting because I think they definitely made a mistake in not talking to the R name who was involved with one of the girls. And then the J name who was a deputy on the case, he definitely, it was like you said, it was like cover up from the top down.
Yeah, it's
from the very top all the way down.
I want you to keep us updated, obviously, with this. But like, I think those are two really good spots. I mean, because it really seems like you guys have a lot of it covered from my perspective. And I'm sure your audience too, and like mine too, will like look into it. But those are the things that I really see with that.
Okay. That's really good. That's really good place to go from here.
Yeah. But I just want to say thank you so much for coming on. I so appreciate you. Where can everyone find you? Name the podcast, drop it.
Yeah, it's Murder at Land Between the Lakes. Like you said, they were, found between the two lakes. So it's Murder at Land Between the Lakes is the podcast. And we're also covering other cases now because what I try to tell the audience is, and everybody listening, is that kind of the more quiet I am about the girl's case is the more stuff that's going on. So don't think because that was the silence.
Well, that's what I've been trying to tell people too with this is like, the more quiet, the better. So
exactly right. So I try to keep everyone updated, but they're like, what happened with this? What happened with this? I'm like, things are working. So
Well, thank you so much. And I appreciate you.
Yeah, you as well. Thank you.
No problem. Amelia, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it so much. And guys, please do not forget to rate and review the show 5 stars. We're almost at 500. Now, when I hit 500, I'm giving away another reading. I do for every 100. So please send me proof that you rate and review the show. And please don't forget to follow my Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook at Jonathan Mark Medium. It helps me out so much. All right, guys, I'll see you next week.